and welcome to my YouTube channel, Juliet McNeil Crafts. So today we are playing with some brand new stamps. I'm very excited about this. These were not meant to be coming out till December, but we've ended up with an extra wee show at the craft store, which I will link in the description box below. So these are now going to be released on Tuesday at 9 AM. So we've got a show at 9 AM and one at 5 PM with the lovely Louise Sims. And yeah, we're going to be playing with these flowers. So these are going to be part of an ongoing expanding range, which will be the Funky Florals. And in the first lot we have Daisy Do. So we've got this gorgeous daisy, and I've kind of almost like drawn it like a skirt. I don't know, like folds of a skirt. And then we've got like the underskirt, as it were, has got little polka dots on it, so it's like a daisy flower. So we've got one that's sort of facing up, one that's got a side profile here, and one that's face forward without the stalk. Then we've got a leaf that is incredibly useful. I know it sounds daft, but quite often with florals, if we can break them up with foliage, it looks so good. And then we've got the sentiments there just for you. So that's Daisy Do. And then we've got Whimsical Wildflowers. I don't know what this is meant to be. It's sort of like a cross between a trumpet and a lily and I don't know. It's whimsical. It's made up. It's fun. So we've got this one here, and then we've got this one here that looks like a rose. And actually, I think, let me just look at the size of this is my GMC stamps collection. I didn't know I had done so many. It's ridiculous. Let me have a little look. I think it is, yeah, this one. So if you happen to have this set, I think we may have a couple of these left in stock, but not a huge amount. So, oh sorry, that's glaring in the camera. This here, this is Wonderville, and then just at the side of the house there's a sort of little rose. So that is the same as this one here, almost. Very, very similar. Anyway. So that matches that if you happen to have it. So what I'm going to do is I've been stamping and colouring. I've got quite a few of them stamped and coloured. I've not got all of them stamped and coloured, but we've got enough to get started with. So I'm just going to go and grab myself some card blanks or something, and we can have a little. I have pulled out this paper because it's going to be on the show as well. So this is a sheet of paper from the Blooming Bright collection. So I was thinking, just the way I've coloured these, they go very well with that. So I was thinking that we could maybe have one of these. I'm trying to decide. I have to decide which wiggle I want the lines on, because like they've kind of got these black outlining. So it means some of the way you cut it out will have a line and some of it won't. I'm thinking that if we could cut this out, and this could be like almost like funky hills, for want of a better word. So I'm just going to get that in like so. There we go. So it could be like that. Actually, I might just stick that down as is. I think that could be quite fun. Right, so what I want to do is I have also got, because we've got different items on the show, I've also got, sorry, I'm just throwing stuff on the floor here. I've also got this stencil here. There's not going to be a huge amount of these on. So I'm just going to get some of these, get some ink down on this. I was using this earlier, so there's probably a little bit of ink remaining on there. See, there we go. I'm just going to get a little bit of ink down because I'm just trying to create a little bit of foliage in the background. This looks very random at the minute, so please bear with me. Hopefully it'll make sense. Hopefully, that's the plan. So this is a really useful stencil. This is our Build a Branch stencil. And honestly, it's just so incredibly useful. Because as well as being able to build a branch, the minute I'm just wanting the foliage. So I'm thinking if we put that on like so. So So we have that. Let's get that glued down. It'll hopefully look a lot better. A lot better by the time we get the get this on. It's looking a bit random at the minute, but bear with, bear with. I'm confident this is going to look amazing by the time we've finished. Okay, so let's get this on like so. And then I'm just going to fussy cut, or just a tidy up, like so. It's funny, I think when I was doing the stash busting cards, which are all on my channel now, so you can scroll back and see them, I went through so many of these wiggle things as part of stash busting, and now I'm making more. I'm making more scraps. There we go. See? I think that looks quite fun. And then it means we could have like different quirky things like this. I may actually need to cut out another wiggle. Bear with. Oh, I like that. That is pretty cool. Right, so what I am just going to do, my blending mat is filthy, so I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to grab a little bit of blue, and I'm just going to edge this so that it looks like the sky. I'm also going to have to go and grab my, sorry, off screen a little bit, grab my Pro marker, which is through in the other room somewhere. Okay, I've got that coming in like so. There we go. That look cool. It just makes a difference. It makes it look like more of a landscape. Now, the thing is, as we do this, we're going to end up with some of the tree parts sort of looking like they're floating. But as I said, what I will do is I'm going to grab some more wiggles, and we will disguise that in just a momento. So let's have that like that, and then you can see what we have in some of our other stamp sets that will match. So that was the idea of this particular stamp set, that all the other JMC stamp sets that you may have, that these are perfect additions to that. So I've got that. Right, let's see what wiggle squiggles we have left. I'm thinking that if we could get some of that green, that would be quite cool. So I'm going to cut into that now. And I'm thinking if we can add a few of these and just hide where the edges of those flowers are, that would look pretty cool. And the fact it's green, hopefully it looks slightly more grass-like than the orange, but this is a world of whimsy, so it doesn't matter. Right, we're probably going to have to almost do that. Oh, I love the fact that we've got the polka dot and the green. It's the same colour as those. Right, so we're going to have to do that, because if we do that, we're just going to lose some of the interest that we've got. So I just want enough so that it's going to have those peeking through. I'm just going to chop into that because I know I've got enough there. Okay, let's get that stuck down. Like so. And it means we've built a funny little quirky scene, which I think is really fun. Right. Oops. Cut into that, strain it all up. This is a bit later in the evening, so if I have lost the ability to talk. As I said, this show was offered to me at very last minute. and it's just me doing the samples because the girls are, oh look at that. See, it's just given so much dimension now, the fact that we've got some of these wiggles going in different angles. Yeah, we've got a one day special coming up, so we've got, it's all going on at the minute. Right, so I want just to hide that. This is my favourite thing in the world, is scene building. I love being able to build a scene and tell a story and things like that. So that's absolutely what I love using my products for. Okay. There we go. That's so cute. Right, I definitely want a little butterfly. I'm just going to have a little scrubble through the old bit box. There's a little dragonfly. This was in my bit box, but it was one that I fussy cut out from the Delightfully Dotty papers. I'm just going to pop that there, and then I think a little bit of doodling just around the edge, which will mimic these edges here. And then that would be this card done, I think. Now, where have I put my pen? Here it is. Okay. Oops. Right. So I'm just, on this bit here, we've kind of got these like scribbly lines. So I'm just going to do the same sort of idea, and I'm just going to do scribbly lines that match what's in the paper. I think that will help it to have that cohesive look. And I'll match it all in. So don't be afraid to doodle on things. And this, doing squiggly lines like this is one of the easiest things you can do. You don't have to worry about it being straight. And I'm going to grab my Pro marker from the other room in just a little bit. But I was going to make 2 cards in this video, so I'll just sort of leave this one as is for the minute. And then when I get to finishing off, I'll just go through and get it, because I'm sure there'll be some, at some point I'll need to stop the camera for something. There we go, so we've got that, and then in the stamp set we have Sentiment Just For You. So maybe we could just stamp that into the corner just there, if I've got a little mini stamp block. You should always take your ink to the stamp and not do like I've just done it there. I'm going to pop that just in there. So cute. Okay, and then I just think I want a little bit of pink splatter. I'm going to bit squint with my sentiment here, but it's fine. It'll do. Be alright? Right, so that's why I wasn't using my blending mat earlier, because it's filthy, and yeah, I'm not going to waste this gorgeous ink either. I'm going to use it up before I before I get rid of it. Right. So I'm just thinking a little bit pink splatter just to lift it so it looks like little blossoms or little flowers floating about. And there we go. So that's one card. So I'm just going to have a pause and a little clear, and then we'll go on with card number 2. So what I thought we'd do, I'm going to pull this stencil in, and I'm now just going to use the flower part of that, and I'm just trying to get a little bit of a background going on, so we've just got a little bit of interest going on. I'm wanting this card to be fairly clean and simple, and I'm trying not to be too afraid of white space and things, but I do always find just a little bit of something just makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. So I'm going to keep it like that. So as you can see, that is quite subtle. And then what I've done is the papers that we've just been working with, I ended up with sort of funny shaped scraps. So I've just trimmed those down, and I'm just going to make a series of little banners. So I'm just going to cut a little V in, so just snip into the centre. I learnt that trick from our lovely Dawn. Mine were always very uneven until I learnt this. So just snip in the centre and then snip from the corner into the centre point that you have made. And I'm just going to layer 2 or 3 of those. I'm going to start with the wider one. And let's just layer those down when I can locate where I have put my glue. Right, so we'll pop that down there. We've got the one. And then this one. So even, like, I literally do save everything, I really do. Even like your little scraps like this, especially because we've sort of cut into the wiggles and then sort of added them. I've ended up with papers that, you know, they look a little bit random, but just sort of like chopping into them a little bit and creating banners, we can get a really, we can just create another look for them, get another little use out of them. These sort of banners and strips do tend to be incredibly useful. And pop that back. So I've just layered 3 there. I'm going to grab my pen at some point and just add a little bit of doodling to that, just to make it a bit more interesting. I'm also sort of wishing that I had those flowers coming down here as well. So I'm just going to pull the stencil back and just grab a couple just here. I just think it'll bring the eye all the way down the card then. And then I've got this one. This is from the Daisy Do set, and it I've coloured it every colour of the rainbow, which I think is just a little bit fun. So I'm going to just, honestly, I keep losing my glue. It's right in front of me, but I keep sort of losing it. Right, I'm going to get a bit of glue on there and just tuck that down. Like so. Pop it behind the little banners that I've created. There we go. And then this stamp set here, which is the whimsical wildflowers. It's got this beautiful sentiment. It just says friendship. This is actually my handwriting. Brave enough to use my own handwriting. I think it looks alright. Don't often. I think there's a couple of, as if I've just got a couple that are my own handwriting. Other than that, I do tend to use fonts because I'm a bit nervous about my own handwriting. I'm going to get that down, but I tried to make it nice and scrolly. So there we go. I've just got that. It just says friendship, which I think is quite cute. And then what I might do as well is let's just give that heart a little bit of colour. And then all I'm going to do now is just doodle around the edge, because it's me. It's me. We can't live without doodling. Well, I can't personally live without doodling. There you go. Right, so I'm going to just doodle around the edge of all of these flags, because especially as we've layered pattern upon pattern, it'll just help us see the individual elements a bit better. So it's a really good way of sort of breaking up the patterns so that you actually see them all. And then I'm just going to doodle around the edge, and I will go and get my black pen and get the black marker. So this is a very clean and simple card, but sometimes I think clean and simple cards are very striking. I do tend to be sort of one of the more is more variety, so it's good for me every so often just to rein it in and do something a bit different. And what I will do is I will clear the desk and we can look at the 2 cards that we have made today. And as I said, if you want to see these stamps, they will be on the craft store on Tuesday. And yeah, the lovely Louise Sims will be demonstrating them, so I'll be back in a moment for you to see the completed cards. Okay, so that is our 2 cards finished. They're very different but very fun. I'm hoping it shows the versatility of these stamps. If you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I will be back with some more crafty goodness very, very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.